98, that's how many children died in the past fiscal year who had some interaction with the Department of Children and Family Services. As we reported last month, 8 of those were here in central Illinois.
Now, the investigations into their deaths are part of an annual report released by the Inspector General just in January. Our own Caitlin Pearson has been digging deeper into this. She got a perspective from a local DCFS investigator.
There's no quitting if you think that a child is in danger. There's no walking away, no taking off early. That is what a Peoria DCFS investigator told me while speaking about her decade on the job through the good days and the bad ones. Child protection investigator Heidi Creasy says she's seen the best and the worst moments of family life.
I've had some times that have really tugged at my heartstrings. I've been angry, I've been hurt, I've been upset. But I've also had times where I've seen families reunite. I've seen my involvement, the department's involvement with the family change everything.
But in the more difficult cases of neglect and abuse, she sometimes deals with children still too young to talk.
Sometimes I am astonished, completely baffled how a child is in the situation that they're in.
Creasy says the hardest part of her job is lack of time, handling up to 20 cases at once. And in each instance, she says their investigations involve talking to multiple people close to the child, from doctors to teachers.
I have a coworker that at one point was kind of struggling. Her caseload was real high. She was real worried, and somebody said something to her, and she responded, "I'm so sorry, I haven't slept in 2 years." That's real. That's not something that you make up off the cuff.
Sadly, Creasy says she's been involved with a case where the child died.
You try your hardest to keep people safe. We try really hard to keep these kids safe.
So how could this happen?
I can work with a family, I can guide a family, I can counsel a family. Outside of moving in with the family, there are some things that just we can't control.
On top of that, she explains it's difficult to remove a child from their home. They have to convince judges the child is in immediate danger. They say judges often side with keeping children with their parents, and they claim there's a shortage of foster families. Here in Springfield, there was a House Adoption and Child Welfare Committee meeting where the interim director of DCFS, as well as the acting inspector general, addressed legislators here about the report that documented the 98 child deaths. The director said the average ratio for child to caseworker is 15-1. And she adds 80% of the work is contracted out to private companies. Those are 2 areas she wants to change.
In these cases, we have a responsibility to understand the full scope of what happened.
The inspector general responsible for the report said DCFS needs support from lawmakers to make a difference.
No single agency working alone can be expected to possess the expertise required to effectively eliminate all child abuse and neglect fatalities.
State Representative Keith Summer of Morton is part of the newly formed committee looking into that issue.
Each of us legislators over the years have experienced these types of things where people have, after they've reported an incident and see no action, then come to us and, well, why is nothing happening? So we're trying to change the reporting system, how you respond to those reports, what is the follow-up care. It's pretty complex, but we have to dig in and start.
However, there has been some movement on the state level. Governor J.B. Pritzker's office told us he's planning to add caseworkers and increase funding for DCFS. And already that caseworker told us she's seen signs of improvement. In Peoria, she says the number of investigators has increased from 19 to 32 in just the past 6 months.
Thank you, Caitlin. And we did check to see just how this report compared with years past. Going back to fiscal year 2013, the numbers of child deaths have fluctuated between 93 and 108 in fiscal year 2017. For more on this story, including the breakdown of local child deaths, go to our website, week.com.